is certainly becoming challenging for some of the top names as they try to get to the summit of the tallest buildings in Doha, the summit of the table tennis world. It's the Lusail Sports Arena that's our home, this magnificent space that has proven to be problematic for some of the biggest names in table tennis. Upsets galore. What's coming up is this. Session number 2 of day 3, and we're going to get underway with Hugo and Bruna Takahashi of Brazil against Chuqin and Yingsha, the number 2 seeds. We'll then see number 14 seed Adriana Diaz. We'll see number 6 seed in the men's singles, Felix Lebrun. We're going to see the Mukaji's, the number 14 seeds in the women's doubles, and we'll see Q Dang of Germany, who has already lost a singles match today. Now he comes back to the doubles to see if he can turn his fortunes around. The last moments of contemplation and preparation. It is about to begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the players. Representing Brazil, Hugo Calderano and Bruna Takahashi. Representing China, Chuqin and Yingsha.
We begin our coverage with this round of 32 match in the mixed doubles competition. And it is a fascinating way to start. Hugo Calderano and Bruna Takahashi of Brazil facing Chuqin and Yingsha of the People's Republic of China, the number 2 seeds. And they will be hoping in this best-of-5 games doubles contest that they can avoid the kind of upset that has befallen members of their squad. We'll come back to that in just a short while because it has been a fascinating tale so far. Here's the tale of the table for this particular contest, and we've got the world number 24 ranked partnership from Brazil against the second seeds, the world number 8 ranked partnership, though down 6 places in the most recent ITTF rankings. A first meeting extraordinarily. How exciting to see this played out on table number 1. Congratulations to all of the officials who've been selected to preside over these World Table Tennis Championships matches. And we're going to hand over now for the toss of the coin. Last opportunities for these athletes to ready themselves. Last chance to have quiet contemplation and conversation before the action begins. What a setting, what an occasion, what an opportunity. A place in round number 3 awaits the winner.
Hello. Hi. So nothing. You. Please. Wong. Yeah, just we carry your racket, so we don't use.
It's a check the racket, open my rubber.
It's your racket like that.
Well, this is most interesting. Adam Bobrow is right down on the field of play by the table. Adam, what's going on here? What are your thoughts?
So it appears that they have some issues with the gluing of the racket, that it's not up to standards right now, and they're requesting, I think he needed to ask for a spare. I'm not 100% sure, but we've got the referee, which is the overseer of the umpires. He says, if I need to get a new racket, let's listen.
No,
he can't change his rubber at this point.
No, it's yours like that from the beginning. Sure. So it's good now, so we can start, please.
This is very interesting. I'm getting a sense that maybe what happened was it was approved, and Chuqin saw that there was an issue with his rubber and said this is not playable, and they said, no, it passed the test. You must use the one that was tested now. If he needs to use another one, it would be tested after the fact, which could be risky, because if they win the match with a racket that doesn't pass the test, well, then the match doesn't count. This happened to Team USA at the last Team World Championships, and it cost them moving on.
No. Trust me. So from the control racket center, directly from the umpire, no one can touch the racket.
So I think what happened is the racket came back
just a quick check
differently than the way Chuqin turned it in.
I have red and blue. Blue. Red, you want the toss? Receive. Which side? Okay, who is server? Okay, the receiver?
Fascinating. What an intriguing start to proceedings as we are now about finally to get underway in this meeting between Hugo Calderano and Bruna Takahashi as they meet Chuqin and Sun Yingsha of the People's Republic of China. Welcome, one and all. Great to have your company. I am honoured to be alongside Maria Tsapsinos, Commonwealth Games medalist and somebody who has participated at the World Championships before. Well, Maria, that was a fascinating old start.
Yeah, that definitely was. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I can only agree with Adam's sentiments there that something had happened between him handing his bat in and it reaching the table. The umpire didn't agree with that, but as we've seen, he's changed his bat to make himself feel a little bit happier about it. So we'll see how it plays out.
And this is a very interesting climate for the Chinese players. We're just going to cut back down now to Adam Bobrow for more thoughts on this. Adam, let's have your update, please.
Yeah, Maria, if you saw him change his racket, I didn't. That was the thing. I got the sense that he's playing with a racket that he wanted to change because he said this is not playable, and they said, yes, it is. You need to use it. And that's why he had that wry head shake of, oh, man, this isn't going to be comfortable. This is coming from a guy who played the, well, Paris last summer with his spare after a complete freak accident with a photographer. So he's been through a lot, and mentally this can be quite a challenge.
Well, everything going entirely as expected then. No, only joking. What a peculiar start to proceedings this is. And yes, so interesting to get both of your thoughts on this, Adam and Maria, because the thing to throw into the mix is that we've had a big upset today in the doubles competition, the women's doubles competition, involving a Chinese pairing. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let us begin. And just when you need something that isn't remotely destabilizing, you get that fascinating high toss serve of Bruna Takahashi.
Yeah, both Calderano and Takahashi have that high toss serve, and I'm sure we'll see it come into fruition here. I think they're both going to start very aggressively and try and get in. They know what a great pair the Chinese are, and yeah.
I think inside end line. So be sure that you serve behind the end line. 1-all.
Sun Yingsha there just being called out for her service. We'll see if that happens again.
2-1.
Huge reaction from the enthusiastic spectators who are here to see their absolute favourites. The support that you can always count upon for Chuqin and Sun Yingsha.
1-3.
But to go back to that earlier upset I was alluding to, Chen Qianyi and Chen Xingtong beaten 3-2 by Sabine Winter and Wang Yuan of Germany. An extraordinary result, and Maria, one wonders the extent to which that ripples through a national team.
Well, I think it definitely does. Obviously, they're teammates. They'll play alongside each other. They're going to be warming up together. And it's a camp, really, isn't it? You come in together as Team China and you're all amongst each other. So I think that hopefully they've got the mentality And they definitely do. They've got so many titles to their names that they won't be impacted so much by the outcomes of their teammates, and hopefully they can just bring each other up for their matches and the singles.
6-1.
They are, after all, these two going for 3 consecutive championships of the world. An incredible accomplishment should they
1-7.
achieve it, and they've started emphatically.
They've taken quite a big lead here. I can't pinpoint anything that they've done completely other than consistency, keep the ball on the table and go for those attacking shots like we've just seen there. They're staying very close and being very aggressive and trying not to let Calderano use his immense power to overpower them.
Useful serve, that.
9-1.
I think it took Takahashi a little bit by surprise there.
Oh, this is
10-1.
phenomenal.
There's not much you can do about those kind of shots when they're coming at you, the angles.
Let 10-1.
And Calderano goes back with the same sort of flick that Wttc was doing earlier to him.
That is done in double quick time. 11-2. Fabulous start from the Chinese partnership. They're looking well and truly in control. Adam, that passed by in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it sure did. And we have to remember, Hugo Calderano is the reason that Team China basically went into class. They locked up, sat down around tables. They had full CTTA meetings to try and figure out the Calderano conundrum. And with an 11-2 victory, despite using a racket that he wasn't comfortable with, Wttc alongside Yingsha have delivered quite a message that they are focused and that they paid attention in class after the World Cup.
Yes, that extraordinary victory, as Adam was mentioning, of the gentleman on the right, Hugo Calderano, at the World Cup, beating Lin Shidong 4-1 in the final, beat all of the world's top 3 in the process. What a statement. And yes, sometimes it just gives everyone a bit of a wake-up call. Sometimes it galvanizes, unites a squad. Sometimes it asks questions. Sometimes it leads to consternation.
Second game. Sant to serve. Love all. Love 1.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how Calderano and Takahashi come back after the one set down. They definitely have a good connection between them, and I'm sure they will have discussed the mistakes that they'd made in the first half and letting Wttc and Yingsha get at them a little bit much and reaching for those angles.
Love.
For you as a player, was it worse to lose a game 11-1 or worse to lose it 12-10?
All.
Or did it not really matter?
Yes. Yes.
I think 12-10. You're so close. You're so close there. But 11-1 can often stimulate you in another way. You know, you get that energy. Everyone's a competitor. Everyone's got that drive in them, and everyone wants to do well. So I think 11-1.
TTR review.
We'll just come back to that because we've got a review coming in now. And we're just going to wait for the formal process. And here we go. 8 things that you're allowed to review. So this is a chance for us to have a look at it before we find out the official TTR decision.
And it's looking like Hugo and Bruna think that that's hit the edge. And there's controversy whether it's the side or the edge.
Now we have to follow the TTR review, not official decision.
So we've had a look at it. Now the official TTR review as to whether that was an edge ball. The clarification is about to come. Oh, goodness.
That is close. That is
Successful
close.
challenge. 1 all.
You know, they do add drama to sports, these review processes. How interesting that was.
I think Calderano was saying afterwards that it didn't need to go to review. He could see on those replays that it was going to be an edge and they'd lost that point.
2-1.
But ultimately it had to go there, and the point went the way of Yingsha and Chuqin.
Great return.
2 all.
Ball's just gone into Bruna's crossover there. You know, when you're playing doubles, and obviously it's one point each that you've got to get out the way, and yeah, they've just pinpointed her there into the middle.
Two, 4.
And that was a very, very similar positioning to the last point as well. That sort of crossover, that middle area, getting around that ball and hitting that forehand will be essential for Bruna.
Three, 4.
Certainly a far better game, this, from the Brazilians' perspective. First one just raced away from them in double quick time.
Calderano, I think it was inside that line. 3, 4.
Oh,
5, 3.
no doubt about that one.
No, definitely not. The apologies come in, but how sorry are they actually?
Well, from your perspective, how sorry were you?
I think in those kind of crucial moments, 1 point difference, the difference between a 1 point lead and a 2 point lead, and going in with serve there is quite crucial. So they would have
6,
been
3.
quite pleased with that,
Yes.
actually.
That was
4,
played
6.
with some pace.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable backhand from Calderano there. It's a bit of a trademark shot for him. He's got a lot of power that he can use when those balls pop up.
Five, 6.
Again, finding the angles there. They're making them work for the points now.
One thing that is absolutely clear about Hugo Calderano is that he is a remarkably bright gentleman. He's somebody who loves a challenge and loves to strategize his way through a table tennis match.
7,
So
5.
if anyone can find a way back into a contest, it is him. And he's got quite a partner in Bruna Takahashi alongside him. 4 years younger at 24. She's from São Paulo State. He's from Rio de Janeiro. Haven't had a lot of success on their serve, though, the Brazilians.
Now, Wang Chuqin keeps
8,
coming in
5.
with that backhand flick wide to forehand, which is causing them a lot of problems there. It's got a lot of spin, side spin on it, and very powerful, very hard to receive.
6.
They're trying to find
8.
those edges. I've seen quite a lot of those balls going to Yingsha's wide backhand there. And they've picked up a couple of points from that angle. It's another unbelievable
7, 8.
backhand from Calderano. We see him do that quite a lot. He just steps off a little bit, gears himself up, and then goes for it. So fluid. So nice to watch him do that, to be honest.
What a hit!
9, 7.
Look how he comes around that ball. You know, you've got to be absolutely so agile to get around that ball and hit it with such power and such precision that probably Hugo didn't think that it was going to come with such sort of strength on it. Oh, my.
Oh, it's a stunning point. Absolutely stunning. Flicker of emotion came across the face of Hugo Calderano, but let's enjoy this again.
It's the point of the match so far, I think. Both of them off away from the table. Unlucky not to get that one on.
11,
and very quickly,
7.
a close game has ended up not being a close game. 11-7 taken by Chuqin and Yingsha. Well, that was just fabulous. The point that led to the game point situation. Adam, this is really developing now.
Yeah, it sure is. It's crunch time. Thiago Monteiro, a former professional player himself, was there when Hugo won the World Cup. But right now, they're taking some risks. We saw a massive improvement in the last game to this. With the same trajectory, game 3 should go their way, but Yingsha and Chuqin, the defending champs 2 times over, don't let many through. Haven't lost since 2021 at the World Champs there and in 2023 in Durban. So far, so good for the Chinese popular pair.
We move to game number 3. 11-1, 11-7. What next? Just one more required
Second
for
game,
the
third
Chinese
game.
partnership.
Takahashi to serve. Love all.
A place in the 3rd round is the reward for victory. A meeting with either the Romanian 15th seeds, Ovidiu Ionescu and Elizabeta Samara, or Ibrahim Gündüz and Sibel Altenkaya of Turkey.
1-all.
Just from watching Calderano's play there, I feel like he's come in with a bit of a strategy that he knows he's got to hit some unbelievable shots and get those on the table. So taking a little bit of extra risk when he's doing his actions is not such a bad thing, because if they win the point, they win the point. But if not, then ultimately they might have lost the point anyway, and he's kind of gone in with that mindset. Again into the Brazilian pair's crossover. They're just getting those sort of angles and getting them out of position.
This gentleman who has confounded the Chinese squad of late is not getting a look in this match. There was the big shot. Exactly what you were talking about.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There, he's gone down the line, and that is a very technically good shot that he's done there. He could have gone cross-court, but the chance of them getting that back was much higher, so he's put an astounding performance there.
4-2.
And again, he's gone for one of those big shots, and more often than not, they do go on for him. So maybe he's not happy with his performance there, and they've gone for a timeout after that.
Yes, the gap really is growing. The end may be drawing closer. The Brazilians calling the timeout, lest it be time up too soon.
Só não precisa nem forçar muito. Tipo, até média, assim. Ela vai pra cima. Cuidado, só que a posição é sem efeito.
Let's head down to Adam right by the field of play. Adam, what are the conversations like down there?
There's a calmness that's impressive to me. I think this is something that, being in a relationship, knowing each other well, sort of knowing how to speak to someone during stressful times to get the best performance. Coaches and players have this same relationship, so these three have been through a lot in recent times, and of course Hugo and Bruna know how to talk to each other well to get the best performance out, so taking some chances but figuring out how to cover the middle. Bruna's a little bit taller of a player And that transition between forehand and
5-2.
backhand is going to be a crucial point for them to come back in this match.
That was definitely a crucial point. After a timeout, you're looking to close that gap, and I'm sure Bruna won't be happy with that. But the intention was there. They were going hard with the shots.
2-7.
Very clearly taking a bounce on his side. Look at that, 12 out of the last 16 to the reigning two-time champions of the world.
He's tried to go for it again down the line. What we have seen from Calderano is he is trying to go for those big shots, those big winners, and he's trying to end the points early.
9-2.
Into Bruna's crossover. She's just getting caught out there a little bit too much. She's gone over to the forehand side.
We find ourselves enormously quickly at 8 match points. My goodness, how they have seized control.
3-10.
The sort of shot probably one can go for at that stage. No real risk.
10-4.
There's a couple that have slipped away, but they still have 6 match points left.
I don't think the Chinese pair will be too stressed at this stage.
The victory is
11-4.
theirs. The dream of
Game
being
and match
3-time consecutive
1.
champions of the
Sun.
world continues.
3 games to love.
What a display that was from Chuqin and Yingsha. Victorious 11-2, 11-7, 11-4 in this round of 32 mixed doubles contest. A commanding performance. Now, we will have to say that the result is a pending result after the full scrutiny of the rackets, considering we had that rather complicated start. But for now, the victory is theirs. We'll just have to wait and see if it remains thus. Tough contest that for the Brazilian partnership. Takahashi and Calderano beaten in 19 minutes by Yingsha and Chuqin. 11-2, 11-7, 11-4. 83% of points won with ball in hand for the Chinese pair. They were so compelling. And as a result, they'll play Ovidio Ionesco and Elisabetta Samara, or Ibrahim Gundos and Sibel Altenkaya. But we have got a singles match in the women's competition coming up for you next. We're going to see in action Adriana Diaz, the number 14 seed. How will she fare? We'll find out in just a moment or two as we resume our coverage.
Welcome back to the Lusail Arena, the glittering lights for the glittering cast of stars we have here in Doha this week. And there was a great result for Alvaro Robles and Maria João of Spain through